Hey guys, it is the AFL Yank back here again, and I'm going to be redoing my Round 19 tips for the 2021 AFL season. Now, this will be quick. This will be a very quick video, as this is just going to be a reevaluation on tips, since, of course, the round lineup has officially changed with, obviously, with the COVID situation now happening in South Australia. But yep, South Australia is on lockdown now, and ended up retooling the schedule for this round. But nonetheless, let's look at the games, and these will be my tips. So, Marvel Stadium, Port Adelaide versus Collingwood. Relatively safe here. Gonna go with Port. The Pies have just been a really poor side this season. And, unfortunately, I'm going to go with the Pies to win the... no, not the Pies, oh my god. But yeah, I think I did say this in the original video, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I'm going to go with... going to have Port win this game by 40 points over Collingwood. Should be a relatively comfortable game. Relatively a comfortable win for them. Then, Carlton versus North Melbourne. Relatively safe here. I'm going to tip the Blues to win this game. Then... one of the massive big lineup changes is, of course, the Hawthorn game ended up getting moved. But yeah, Brisbane Lions versus Gold Coast. Once again, I just do not have any trust in the Gold Coast Suns. They've had their moments, but I just do not see them. I just don't see them winning this game, especially with a side like the Lions. I mean, the Lions have had they've actually had some pretty bad losses here and there this season, but nonetheless, I just feel more confident in the Lions. Yeah, they've had some injuries as of late, but I just trust them more. And I think this is the first time I've seen 100% choice here, which is pretty funny. But yeah, I'm going to go with the Lions to win this game. Then next, it is, in the next game... it's going to be the West Coast Eagles versus St. Kilda Optus. I believe this was on the original schedule. So I'm going to go with the Eagles to win this game. They should relatively win this game comfortably. Well, it'll be a pretty interesting game. This could definitely be... I wouldn't say they win it comfortably, but this could be a potential thriller of a game, honestly. But yeah, relatively comfortable here choosing the Eagles in this game. Although I think it could be a thriller. It could definitely be a thriller, honestly. But yeah. Then at the MCG, Melbourne versus the Western Bulldogs. Relatively going safe here, tipping the Ds. They dominated the Dogs earlier this season, and I feel like they could do it again. But yeah, nonetheless, anything could happen. And the next, the one new game to come out of this. The Adelaide Crows versus Hawthorn. Two bottom four sides. The Hawks have had their moments as of late. Hell, they drew up with Melbourne. They drew up with the Ds out of all teams. And meanwhile, the Crows, they have had two horrible losses. They have just been a relatively poor side as of late. They have just been absolute shit as of late. And honestly, I feel relatively comfortable tipping Hawthorn here. I have more trust in the Hawks coming into this game, honestly. Just with how shit the Crows have been, even with Tex Walker back, they have been shit. But yeah, relatively the Crows, like I said in the original video, they're just not ready yet. They're still they're the youngest team in the comp, and they still got a lot of things to work out with, but they could possibly reach. I could see them being a potential final side in a couple of years. But yeah, still they're a really young side. There's still a lot of stuff to do in order for them to be a final side again, but nonetheless, the Crows, they could make a possible big jump next year. It's possible, but yeah, I don't see it happening the rest of the season, and they're virtually out of the finals race anyway. They weren't going to make finals anyway, honestly. I mean, yes, they had the strong start. They beat Geelong. They actually had a very solid game against the Swannies, even though they only won by 3, even though they lost by 33 points. It was still a pretty promising game for them, but yeah, nonetheless, the Crows have literally just become the team that everyone expected them to be, honestly. But yeah, then Essendon tipping against But yeah, Essendon versus GWS. Tip them to win. And yeah, I'm relatively comfortable with that game. And it's unknown when it will be played, actually. But yeah, probably will be one of the Sunday matchups. Then Geelong versus Richmond. That should be a really interesting game. But yeah, I'm relatively safe tipping the Cats just with how, yeah, the Tigers had that huge game. But them without having Dustin Martin's going to be huge. And finally, of course, I'm tipping the Swannies to beat Freo. Just the Dockers have been in really poor form as of late. They've just been in really bad form as of late. And even with the Swans having that rough start against GWS, they still won that game incredibly comfortably. And I do see the same happening. Well, I don't see them going down by 30 points. I could definitely see the Swans getting a massive win here. Definitely a possible percentage booster of a game if like the best happens. But yeah, nonetheless, I do expect, similar situations to, very similar game to the Eagles game, to be honest. But yeah, I think the Swans will definitely get used to Metricon, mark my words. They will definitely get used to the surface of Metricon, and I think they're going to be, I think they're going to potentially make a run for the Premiership. Yeah, I'm not kidding. I think the Swans could definitely win the Premiership this year. I feel very confident and optimistic about it happening. But yeah, nonetheless, that's my tips. Just a slight retooling. I'll do some quick squiggle. I'm going to do a quick squiggle prediction, and my freaking cursor's broken. And my cursor's acting up. And my freaking cursor's freaking broken. Ugh. Alright, just give me a second, guys. I'm just going to try and navigate to the squiggle page. This thing. Oh my goodness. Okay, here we go. Let me just... Almost there. There we go. Alright, now let's do the quick ladder predictor of how these games will go. Port versus Collingwood. I'm tipping them to win by 40 points. Carlton versus North. This should be a really interesting game, but I think the Blues will win by 20 points. I mean, I think North could definitely be in that game, but I'm more trustworthy and more trustworthy about the Blues at this moment right now. Brisbane versus Gold Coast should definitely be a comfortable win for should be a comfortable win for the Lions. I see a 37-point win. West Coast versus St. Kilda. Gonna tip. This should be a really interesting game. I'll actually say West Coast win by 8 points. I think it'll definitely be. It has the opportunity of being a thriller, and I accidentally clicked the Crows Hawks game. This could be an interesting game, but I feel like I think Hawthorn gets the win here. I have more confidence in them over the Crows at the moment. And yeah, Melbourne versus the Western Bulldogs. This should be a really interesting game, but I'm relatively more confident in the D's. I'll say the D's win by 15 points, and they remain at top of the ladder. I'm just more trusting in the D's right now than the Dogs. Essendon versus GWS. I'm actually gonna tip the Bombers to win big in this game. I'll say 34 points. I just think the Giants have been they're going to get demolished, especially with the amount of players that are out on their side, especially the big losses of Matt DeBoer and Toby Green. It's probably unknown if Shane Mumford's coming back for them. For next week anyways. And of course they saw a massive loss in Kelly, and they also saw a massive loss in Jack Kelly, I believe. And they also saw a big loss in Kelly as well. Big loss in Tim Kelly. He got injured against the Swans. It was a pretty nasty injury. I don't really see him coming back for a while. And then Geelong versus Richmond, I'll tip the Cats to win this game. I feel like they could get a decent win. I'm just relatively more comfortable in the Cats. And finally, Sydney versus Freo. I'm just going to say screw it. I'll just say they win by... I could see a possible 50-point win. I see it happening. And those are my tips for the round. Just a quick redo over since the schedule changed with the COVID situation in South Australia affecting both the Port and Crows games. But yeah. So, adjusted letter prediction: Melbourne 1st, Geelong 2nd, Dogs 3rd, Port 4th, Brisbane 5th, Swans 6th, Eagles 7th, and Essendon 8th. Richmond 9th, Blues 10th, Freo 11th, St Kilda 12th, GWS 13th, Gold Coast 14th, Hawthorn 15th, Pies 16th, Crows 17th, and the Roos in 18th. So, just a quick video, just a quick redo-over of my initial tipping video, and yeah. And I'm the AFL Yank, but yeah, this is, hope you enjoyed this video. I am the AFL Yank, signing out. Car in the Swannies, Flag Swab 2021 premieres. Let's get it.